Hello, this is Cody,
And I'm Elizabeth.
and this is Keeping Score Game Reviews.
Today we're going to be reviewing Boom Patrol from Smirk and Dagger Games. It's a game for 2 to 4 people, 10 plus, that's supposed to take 40 to 60 minutes.
That's about what it's taken when we've played it. So you're gonna need about the first thing about this game. You need like a 3 by 5 foot area.
Our kitchen table was not large enough really to play this well.
Not unless we completely cleaned everything off of it, and then it worked, but just that. But there's a lot to like about this game. So what this game is it's an action arena combat game where you control your tank using program cards. So, for instance, on a turn, let's say we'll take up the initiative. So the first thing you're going to do is draw an initiative card. So where initiative cards come up, we're going to go ahead and, for the ease of explaining, it'll be my turn first. So what I like about this is we're going to program our cards. So let me see what we got here. Do that one. Followed by this one. And this one, maybe. I'll put my cards back over here. So, first things first, I really like these tank pieces. They're these 3-layer cardboard pieces where you've got the body of the tank and you've got a swiveling head for your gun. Now, what I really like is, one, they're cool. They're interactable. They look cool. They feel nice. 2, you aim by putting your tank in between these white notches that are on there in all direction. Notches is the wrong thing, but like white little barriers, So, you're aiming that way, that way, that way, that way, and that's how you determine where you're aiming. So, the other thing I really like is if you look at the cards. So, I first played forward.
Show it.
I first played a forward card. So, what you do is you put this near the front of the tank, like it says on the card, and then you're allowed to move as far forward as when your rear goes to where it is on the card. So I have moved forward. What I've done while I did that was I hit a building. So these buildings would be scattered further out on a normal playboard because you would have more space. But when you hit them or you shoot them, you get something. So I jumped on this one, and it immediately lets me use my captain's orders card. So my captain order is I have slow roll of the first sloth brigade. And she's a sloth, and she's very funny. So she allows me to move 1 card width forward, and I get to roll the carnage die, which is the purple one. And I gain a gold for each crit I would roll. So once again, I'm going to do this. Move forward. And then I have to go ahead, and I'll have to reveal these when I'm done, but first I have to roll the carnage die. Did I get crits? Yes, I got 1 crit, which means I would get 1 bar of gold. When you get 3 golds, you can exchange them for a point, which are medals. The first 1 to 5 medals is going to win the game. Now I have to do the things I ran over. So I get a supercharge. That gives me one of the little lightning pieces right here. And I will have to look up what these do because I do not remember. So give me a second when she's talking. And then I also ended up with a mortar. So the mortar is always considered a long. These are how you're going to determine whether you're close, mid, or long. The mortar is always considered a long attack. So I can aim where I want. Let's say I want to aim at an opponent tank. Do I have enough range? I do. So when you've got a long distance one, you'll roll the 2 normal damage dice, and you'll take the worst result of the 2. So this is going to be the worst result, which means, that's 1 hit instead of 2 hits and a critical. So I get 1 hit on them. They're going to take a damage. and then they'll mark that, and they'll have to fix it by playing the back of one of their cards, which shows either hold up or repair. And you'll do that by changing the card that your other one is. So I've used my first card. Elizabeth is going to use her first card while I look up Supercharge.
So, looking at the play board, I want to aim for as much as what I humanly can get. So I've chosen in the beginning to veer left. If I crush a tank, I move off it and deal damage. So, the front of my tank is currently here, and I will move my tank up here, which in turn is going to hit this one right here. But I didn't crush a tank, so I don't get to do damage. Oh, I got accelerator.
Okay, so the accelerator, it's a permanent, and what that means is it's going to bounce her off of the token, so she goes right to the edge of it. And if you fire your gun into the accelerator, it then goes 90 degrees the other way. So that allows you to anywhere, pretty much anywhere on the board. If you've got a clear line of sight, you can fire into that and use it as a trick shot. It's pretty cool. So the ones that you did get, you would take those and you would take them off the board because those weren't permanents. Mine weren't. Hers is. Supercharge does what I remember what it does. So it's going to allow you to play a fourth program card the next time you're programming cards, should you wish to spend your token. So then my second one was I'm going to use my captain's orders, which are move the card one width forward, roll the carnage die. Well, so here's my problem now. I'm going to bounce up against that building. So that's great. It does do 1 damage to the building, though. As you can see, there's 3 little squares on the clock tower. So it's going to do a damage there. And then the yellow player would have a damage cube on theirs as well. And once this clock tower ends up taking 3 damage, it's going to turn into the vault. And what that's going to do is at the end of your turn, if you're the closest tank or tanks to that vault, you're all going to get a free gold token at the end of the turn. There are other things that happen in the game, like, you've got an again card, which lets you repeat the order behind it. Obviously, that can't be your first card you play because there's nothing to repeat. She played, forward again, and then she did again, so she'd get 3 forwards, so she'd end up right in here. Then player 3 and 4 are going to play their turns, and that's how the game is going to go. Now, if you take 3 damage, you have to put a wreckage card out on the field. It looks like this. That is a permanent wreckage that is now an obstacle everybody has to work around. Then you're going to respawn in your corner and go again. And it's the first one to earn 5 glory that wins. You can earn glory in a few different ways. When you damage but do not destroy a tank, it's 1 for each of the symbols on the dice. So 1 for each of those X's and the crit. You can force a player out of bounds, which is 2 victory points. Or 2 glory points, sorry. You can remove tank wreckage, which is 2 more victory points. And when you damage but do not destroy the clock tower, you get 1 for each crit that you've rolled to do that. So that's the way you're going to earn points and win the game. I like it. It's chaotic. It's ridiculous. It takes up a little too much space, which is really my only problem with it. But there's all sorts of fun things these do. This is a magnet. It's going to steal your gold. This is skunked. That's going to do damage to you. That's more general's orders. That one gives you gear. The gear cards are here. They give you things like grease on fire away. Turn your turret to any direction. Armor, improved gearing, guided missile, guided weapons, blasters, big shells, resupply, fix kit. These are going to do a lot of things. So they're useful. When you get damaged, you get rattled, which is a penalty you'll take. The cards look like that. And that just means you cannot gain. When activated, you replace the card with a random card from your hand. So You don't get to choose what one of your actions is because you're rattled and you're confused. I like it. It's chaotic. It's perfect as for what it is, which is, a party, a play toy like game for you and the kids or you and your family. I enjoy it. Go ahead with some more.
So, I mean, the space was an issue for us because the problem is you have to have space to lay out your cards. You have to have space for your player board as well. And the measuring things that in order to lay out these 4 neoprene mat corners,
You need to have it.
you've got to have
two.
a full 2 in between each of these. So you've got to have a pretty large square
As you can
space.
tell, our table is considerably shorter here.
Yeah. And I mean, our other table that we played on, our kitchen table, was pretty close, but then there wasn't enough space to really put our cards out and whatnot. So the space is an issue for me. My other issue with it is there's a lot of various little things, and the more times you play it, the more you're going to get it. But I felt like I had to constantly refer back to the manual to figure out what I was supposed to do when some of these things happened.
In the defense of that, the manual's pretty well laid out. It's got a clear index pages at the back that tell you what everything does. So It's not hard to find those, but you do have to look.
No, it's a lot of little bitty if then that type things that happen. It's a cute game.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of running over things with my tank and shooting other people with my little tank here. It's something different. I can't say I've played a game like this ever before. There's 2 guys watching your tank battle.
Yeah, so the theme is really cool. I love the theme of this. You're anthropomorphic Disney-like animals. You've got your 2 announcers over there that are calling the blow-by-blows. And then your captains, I've got a sloth that's my brigade captain.
And I got a raccoon named
She's got
Scrappy.
A raccoon, yep.
Scrappy of the Trash Pandas.
And it's a contest. It's a TV show in this universe where they go into this arena and destroy stuff and blow up each other's things. And it's really fun. The theme is great. The art is great.
Mm-hmm.
These tanks are great pieces. These are some of my favorite board game pieces in a long time, just for how clever the design is. Mm-hmm. And my goodness, for a tabletop war game, having the distances you can go on these cards that you just simply put there and be like, I know exactly how far I can go. I just got to mimic the card. Great. Absolute wonderful bit of design that.
With kids, you do have to watch because when they lay out their cards at times.
Oh, Oliver did this, yeah.
They'll go forward and then they'll conveniently move off or they'll move the card. So the accuracy, you're going to have to depend on who you play with as to how accurate they are and how much you trust that they're moving their tank in a correct fashion.
Given the type of game this is, I don't think you probably need to take it too seriously.
I do, just because that's me.
Another thing I like is the corners are neoprene mats. So once you've established where your boundary is, it's not going anywhere, which is great. I give this, I enjoyed this. I like this. I can see myself playing this a lot. If it were slightly less difficult to put on a table, or if I had a dedicated gaming table, I would give it a 9 because I enjoyed it. But the fact that it is big and kind of unwieldy, and the fact that, there are some little bits of things that need looked over and there's a lot to keep track of, I give it an 8. I like this. It's a great family weight game. It's got a great theme, and it was a lot of fun to play. And I'll play it again, over and over. This one I'm going to enjoy for a long time.
Yeah, I'm more in a 7 range, and it's simply because of the fact that it's so massive and there are so many little moving parts to keep track of. I think it's a really cute idea. Me as a gamer, I like simpler games personally, and trying to keep track of what all the individual cards do and stuff, just for me, it's a bit much. But it's a really cute game. It's really well designed, I think. And in theory, it's not real hard to learn. You've just got to really pay attention to the book.
And on the note of the design, I feel a special need to say the designers. They're Anthony and Nicole Amato. And some people that watch this, go to Gen Con a lot and stuff, they'll know why I'm bringing this up. But Anthony did not make it to the completion of this game. He passed away, unfortunately. And this is, the last game probably that we're going to see that was designed by both him and his wife. What a great loss to the board gaming community, because like she said, this is a great design. It's a lot of fun. I wish I would have been able to see more games designed by Anthony, because I think he had a lot of skill. That being said, I just wanted to be upfront about that and let you know that that was something that happened.
This does retail for $44.99, and this was given to us by Smirk and Dagger, in case we forgot to say that earlier. So yeah, it's a cute little game. If you have a good sized table space, or if you can play on the floor, which we can't because we have cats and a dog that would eat the pieces in a heartbeat, or chase a dice across the floor.
Which, while hilarious, is not conducive to good gameplay.
No, and it will mess with our little buildings, and it won't end well. So if you have the space for it, especially with like young boys, I think they'd get a real kick out of this.
My son got a kick out of it for sure.
Because he gets to drive a tank around, smash things, and shoot things. What little kid doesn't like that? So, yeah, I mean, a solid 7 for me. And
an 8 from me. It was a really enjoyable game. We'll definitely play it again.
Yep, so that is Boom Patrol from Smirk and Dagger Games.
Thank you.